This is Lady Myya. I am here with Nujak Tha Hustla. Okay? And a sister was trying to say that right because, I lost my Philly twang like a long time ago. A long time
You still
ago.
got it. You still got it.
I'm trying, sir. I'm trying. But he is the founder, of BMA Entertainment Inc., okay, which is in the tri-state area, and he is doing everything he can, coming from nothing to create a name for himself and others, becoming one of the creators and executive producer of Get Focused DVD series. Okay, and so you know what? He's going to give us more information on what he's doing right now, and we are going to just relish in it because this is so cool, I guess. So I would love for you, Mr. Nujak, to say hello to my Mayan tribe.
Sup, tribe? How y'all feeling today? I'm happy y'all got me here. Finally, I get to sit and talk to you.
Right. How about that? All righty. So we're just going to get started with these questions, you guys, and sit back and enjoy. All right. So, Mr. Nujak, what made you start this business?
Which business? I guess we'll be talking about BMA. We do have BMA janitorial services as well. But BMA Entertainment Studios, it started from a long list of different ventures. We started off with a music group. And then we had Focus Entertainment, which was a visual group. We had a few different projects. We were doing mixtapes and venture events at different clubs and venues. We did a residency for six weeks and 3 days in Las Vegas. So it just came from a culmination of just being in the music industry, just trying to grind up and make a name for ourselves. So it started off from tired of spending the thousands of dollars at other people's studios to, hey, why don't we build our own studio? So it started from there, and then it ventured off into, hey, well, instead of trying to act in other people's movies and independent films, let's create our own independent films. And then that started as, let's not just act in our own independent films. Let's try to produce and direct our own independent films. So it's been a 10-year road of just different ventures, different ideas that came together, and we created BMA Entertainment Studios, which is audio film design studio.
See, that's dope. I like that for sure. Okay, so what would you say the primary focus is of your message?
Our message from BMA, self-entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Self-dependency. That's what it's about. It's always been about that, but now more than ever, the economy that we know, that we've all grown up on, we're used to, is changing very rapidly. It's crumbling very rapidly. In the next 5 years, just the way we know how to spend our dollar is going to change. I'm sure you're aware of cryptocurrency, the digital dollar, as they call it online. It is creeping up on us fast. It's a great investment, but it's gonna destroy a lot of people who aren't prepared for that change.
That is very true. Very true.
Self-entrepreneurship is the one way that you can protect you, your family, and can control your destiny.
Right. No, that's for sure. We didn't see this coming at one point in time, and then we heard about it, but we were like, we still don't have a whole lot of information. So, not really having the knowledge doesn't give you an excuse to just not try to learn about it and find out what else, this thing could actually do for you. When they were talking about mining it in the beginning, I was like, what? What do you mean mining? Okay. But this is the new day and age. Everything is going to definitely go digital. They're talking about getting all kinds of chips and doing all kinds of extra stuff, so to have access, you just don't want to be left behind.
The only thing you need to leave your house for in 2020 is fresh air.
True.
You can get
maybe running.
Delivered.
You know what?
You can run at home. Get yourself a treadmill. You can run in your house. They're delivering food to you. They're delivering medicine to you. They don't want you to leave your house, and it's a reason they don't want you to leave your house. But
That's
we'll do
true.
that on. We'll have a separate discussion about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will. We will certainly.
Yeah, we can talk for hours about that.
All righty. So give us some insight. You know, with your DVD that you worked with some like really big names. So how was it like working with them and like having them understand your vision?
Well, when you put it like that, it makes it seem like everything was planned and we had, all intentions of going and did what we did. But actually, we didn't. We had a vision just to inspire and showcase a lot of local talent that we had. A lot of artists, creators, content providers, they all run in the same circles. We go to the same events. We work with each other. We support each other. And that time, this was pre-digital era, 2006, 2007. And we were just trying to get everyone's vision and everyone's faces seen in the public at that time. The DVD circuit for music was very big. It was a very lucrative business. So our main intention was, hey, we know some of the best, artists in the tri-state area. If we can highlight them, it'll give them great promotion, and we'll be able to make great money off of that. We can finance our products and our ventures. So that's what it started off to. And I mean, before we were done pre-production, it had exploded with all the promotion. We had about 10,000 pre-sold copies. It went crazy. So once it was released, it was a success. We did 3 different series. And as far as working with the people, we did some of Meek Mill's first coverage. The infamous nappy head dreadlock video. That's our Get Focused video. But we didn't know he was going to be Meek Mill. I was actually very reluctant to go shoot his video that night, actually, because it was I really didn't, I wasn't the biggest fan. So it was just like, hey, why are we going to go do this? We have other people that at the time had bigger promotion, bigger names in the city. It was like, hey, we have meetings set up with these people. Why are we going here? But my partner, Jers, he was like, no, this kid he's great. He's dope. He's going to go somewhere. He's the one. So, he was my partner. So we took his advice. We went down there. And as soon as we got down there, we understood what he was talking about.
True. See, it was meant. It was meant. That's all that is. That's awesome. So okay, so why did you open the audio film studio? Like that thing and how it's actually kind of like servicing everything in that general vicinity. Like why? What happened?
Well, again, it kind of morphed into that, 5 to 10 years ago when we started. Again, it was just a self-contained entity, just to be able to get our own UPC codes, to be able to put our own music in stores, put our own films in stores. It was just personal business growth. But then, you have personal life growth that comes along with it. And as the older we got, and we started seeing things in a different light, we realized that we could give back through the films, through the music, through the community. So we started trying to put more focus into that. Most of that credit can go to my brother. He's one of our vice presidents at BMA. He also heads up a nonprofit corporation, Power Brothers USA. We deal with addicts, youth offenders, and gun violent offenders in Philadelphia. Anyone, you can go definitely support that. It's a great movement. But it started with things like that. And then, just being of the community. Moved around the tri-state area pretty much my whole life since I was a young kid. So I feel at home in pretty much any of the tri-states.
Yeah.
I have family, I have houses, I have time, memories in any of the states. So it kind of morphed from that to having a nucleus and a set community in each of those cities that I could reach out to and say, hey, I actually want to do something for my community and give back a little bit. But it was like, hey, which community do you give back to? I've been to school. Yeah, I've been to school in 10 different municipalities. I've lived in 10 different municipalities. So who do you give back to? So it started off with, well, I was born here, but I really grew up here and I love this place the most. And these most love. So it started just giving to different communities. You started with book bag drives, food drives, things like that. And then it just surfaced into, let's just do this all the time. And it's
Right.
really not about what you get back. Like I said, success comes with the fame, the money, and everything. If you do something and you do it well and you do it to a successful level, anything that you wanted from it, profit from it, will come in return. So we always wanted just to have our name known, bigger music, bigger film ideas, and by giving back to the community, that kind of spread the name of our business, spread the name of our music, and things like that, and it kind of snowballed effect into what it is today. And most of our artists, they pay their bills off their music. I don't think any of our artists have had a employed job by another entity since signing to us.
Right.
I've been self-employed for the last 7 years. I
Man.
do pretty well. So that's really what it started from, just a lifetime of chasing the dream, chasing your ambition, and making it something that's actually tangible. A lot of people have great business ideas, great business ethics, but they don't want to do the background, the small steps, the paperwork to really make it a flourishing business. And
Right.
that's the difference between being successful and unsuccessful. Because your business is only as serious as you are, and your customers only going to take your business as serious as you are. So if you
Super
don't
true.
take those steps to make yourself visible to the people in the market that you're trying to target, they'll never see you.
No, see, and I mean, if only people really like got that, like if they really just kind of really heard that and took that to heart and did what it took just to make it, I mean, it would be so much better, and people would have like, they would value what they would actually get, as opposed to, just, oh, well, just let me have my hand out and you give me everything. And that's not the way the world runs.
One of my
Unfortunately.
favorite cliches is the best things in life are free.
Mm,
I
nope.
didn't understand it when I was growing up,
Mm-hmm.
but some of the best things in life are free. The things that you really want in life, things that you really need in life besides, food and substance, are free. Happiness is
Mm-hmm.
free.
Yeah.
Happiness doesn't cost anything. If you do what you love that makes you happy, it's free.
True.
You'll
Very
get,
true.
you'll get the pay in return. It's just unfortunate that the way society is mapped out is that a lot of us don't have the opportunities and chances to chase those dreams, whether it's due to upbringing, uh, community living. Some people it comes down to, I have to eat tomorrow. So I don't have the time to take out to chase a dream,
Right. No,
especially
that's true.
when you get down to that check to check living.
That's
It's like,
true.
hey, do I use this 8 hours to feed myself, feed the kids, or do I gamble this 8 hours and hope I can make $1 out of a dream? Some people just don't have
I
that
mean,
luck.
you never know. I mean, if you work hard at it, and you make yourself intentional on everything that you do towards it, it's going to be that much more better, and you'll get there that much faster.
That is definitely true. It's just
Yeah.
about risk takers. You got to take
Yeah.
that risk.
Always. So wait, okay. So I saw that there was a life-threatening encounter. What was that about?
We thought we were being positive today.
I'm trying, but I want to see what happened. I'm trying to get, down to the nitty-gritty. And so
Right?
we can
Yeah,
go
I
back
understand.
up.
No, I actually, no worries at all. Not to sour the mood, I do like to speak about uplifting the youth in the community, but that comes from a story of living and understanding exactly what our youth are going through. As a young man, I know I didn't listen to anyone that I didn't look up to. The mailman was a hardworking man. My grandfather was a truck driver, 30 years, owned his own business, his own fleet of trucks. I never listened to him.
Oh.
He wasn't the guy I looked up to when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't influenced to look up to him. I was influenced to look up to the guys on TV, the rappers, the drug dealers, the basketball players. Those were the heroes that we were brainwashed to look up to as children. They
Right.
didn't tell us to be like your father. They said, be like Mike, you know, be a basketball player, be a dancer, you know, so
So you can get all
unconsciously,
the money.
exactly. So unconsciously, this is what we're conditioned to when the real heroes are in the house with us. The real
True.
heroes are already in the family with us. So
Yeah.
when I went through my life changing situation, I just wanted to tell them how, you know, the roads can definitely intersect and you can choose the wrong path. Me, I've chose many paths, some wrong, some right.
Right.
Um, when I was younger, I was doing, you know, I was doing what I do, you know, was always been hustling, you know, and it's more than one form of hustling, you know, and I'm not
Yeah.
talking about illegal hustling. Um, you do hair, you hustling. You go to work, you hustling.
Yeah.
You sell water on the corner, you hustling. Whatever you do to feed yourself and get by, you hustling. But we've always been business minded. We've always been goal orientated. But we've always been in the inner city. You know, the inner city comes with certain things, certain surroundings, and things like that. I don't want you to think I'm dancing around your question, but I don't want to glorify the wrong things. You know
No,
what
I
I'm
understand
saying?
that. I just figured just having that story and then learning from it, so that people
Yeah.
can see, okay, yes, I did that. I didn't make, like you said, I didn't make all the right decisions. I did some wrong things, but at the same time, with your determination, you were able to turn it around regardless of what people would say, or maybe your surroundings or things that have happened to you. And that's the only reason why I was asking, because I'm like, look, this happened, but he didn't let that stop him. So he was just like, no,
Yeah.
I'm more determined, if not more than, than that. So that's all.
Yeah, definitely. And that aspect of it is what I do like to speak on.
Right.
Just the whys and the hows I try to stay away from,
Right.
um, just for moral and some legal purposes. But Philadelphia has a very high crime rate. A lot of that crime rate is home invasions. Um, so I was involved in a home invasion. People, you can say targeted, however you want to label it.
Right.
Targeted by a group of people who wanted something that they believe I had.
Mm-hmm.
And just to put it into context for anyone that's watching, anybody that's still living on the opposite side, these were people that I grew up with. These were people that I did business with, on a daily basis. So just be careful who you bring into your circles and why you bring them into your circles. But I was targeted for, money, of course. A few guys came into my house, and it went from there. Anybody in their right state of mind, I do advise you, if you're legal and able to be legally armed at all times, especially in your house if you have a family, and not to advocate gun violence. I advocate gun education, because if I didn't have the right to carry, I probably wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have no way of defending myself.
True.
But yeah, I was shot 5 times, 2 in the back, 2 in the chest, 1 in the leg. Died twice on the way to the hospital. When I woke up, I was a different person. Not just speaking physically, when you're dealing with broken bones, damaged organs, things like that. So your body goes through a very, very tremendous change. Just say if you woke up today, you're 100%. And you wake up tomorrow and you're 70%, but that 70% is now your new 100%.
Wow. Yeah.
And you have to live. You have to learn to live that way.
Yeah.
So it was a hard road back. I didn't walk for 6 months. Once I did walk, it took me about another 6 months to get full mobility and to kind of walk normally again.
Right.
But after that, the whole time that I was bedridden, then I was in a wheelchair for 6 months. That whole time I was organizing a plan to figure out where I was going to go. Because at that point I knew what I wanted to do. I was doing what I wanted to do, but I was still doing what I was used to doing at the same time, if you understand what I'm
Right.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make a decision on where I wanted to be in life, where I wanted to go. One road, if I stay on this road, these type of things will keep happening more than likely. They'll
Right.
either escalate, and it's only two outcomes to that, or you can change your path, change your direction, focus all that negative energy into something positive, and you
Right.
can gamble on that. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
say life's a gamble. You just got to bet on yourself. Once you learn to start betting on yourself, you'll win every time.
Yeah.
If you don't
That's
bet
true.
on yourself, you can't win.
Nope.
So the best way to say that is just take that negative energy or what can be perceived as negative energy and just
Mm-hmm.
funnel it into something positive, whether
Right.
it's education, whether you want to learn,
Mm-hmm.
build your mind, go get a degree, help others. If you want to
Right.
be an artist, you want to be a musician, a philanthropist, a public speaker, anything you want to do. If you just want to be a better person, just focus your
Yeah.
positive energy and the best parts of yourself into what you want to do. And you'll
There
always
you
get results.
go. Mm.
Hard work pays off.
Yes.
Another saying that I never understood when I was young. My mother used
Mm-hmm.
to tell me all the time. I used to always like to slack off. She was like, hard work pays off. I was the guy that didn't study for the test until Thursday. Not because I was lazy, but because I knew all the answers. So in my mind, I didn't have
Mm.
to study.
You were blessed.
Yeah, I used to tell her, like, I know I'm going to pass. I always pass. She's like, that's not the point. Hard work pays off. Hard work pays off. Never really understood it until certain opportunities were taken away from me and I had to work just a little bit harder to get them.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So I think that would actually go with my next question, educating the youth. And you saying that, I mean, that speaks like total volumes, on everything that they need to hear. So, definitely understanding that, look, just don't do any old thing or just do nothing, do something that's positive, give yourself an opportunity and a chance to go and make something out of yourself. Just don't waste that time that you've been given, especially when you're younger. Oh my goodness.
A lot of
I'm a
choices
little
are made.
older,
Mhm.
just a little bit. And I'm telling you, the time flies. And when I tell you how bad it could be, as opposed to you being young and an able-bodied individual, you then will understand, look, when I'm looking at my old head and they trying to get around or whatever, and they talking about aches and pains and different things like that. That thing is not that far away. So
Mhm.
take advantage. You're an able-bodied person. Make sure that you know what you're doing. Be intentional about what you do because it's so important. You just never know or really understand who's really looking at you. Because I'm pretty sure some of y'all have smaller siblings.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm glad you said that. And that goes back just to add on to your previous question. That formulates in your mind when you have that understanding of who's around you, who's watching you. It changes the way you approach things. It changes the way you approach life. Because at that time I had a lot of younger guys that looked up to me for all of the wrong reasons, of course,
Right.
but they looked up to me. So when you see that kind of influence that you have over people, just like a big brother would have an influence over a little brother, but he doesn't understand that little brother is going to grow up and want to do exactly what he did, good
Exactly.
or bad, good or bad. So just be conscious of the energy that you put out there to other people because it comes back to you.
Mm-hmm. So wow, dude, that was deep. Okay, so I guess I would have to say, oh no, I'm just gonna go with the next question. How about that? What do you find that they want to know? Like the people that are surrounded with you, the people that you are influencing, like what type of questions are they, asking you, and like what kind of answers are you giving?
Most frequently questioned is the one you just asked. How many times you get shot? What happened? But it's always a good icebreaker when you're dealing with especially young men. When you're dealing with young men, it's always an icebreaker because that's their infatuation. They all want to be part of the life,
Yeah,
or a life that they think they want. And to some extent, some of them are out here living the life that they think they want to live. But when you bring it to them on a real level, they see like, hey, I seen this guy every other day in my neighborhood. He's always doing something good. He's always giving back. I thought he was the guy that just gave book bags to kids, but he actually used to be me. When they start seeing it from that perspective, because the same respect you can have for doing something negative, you can have that same respect for doing something positive.
Yeah.
The kid, they're going to look up to you regardless. It's all about what do you have them looking up to. So once I started realizing that their interest is in the negativity because that's what they know, that's what's intriguing. But you use that opportunity to change the narrative from a negative to a positive and get them to understand the opportunities they had. Like you said, they're 18, 19. You have the world in your hands. You just don't know it unless someone tells you, unless you're embraced, unless that self-esteem is built up inside of you. You don't know it when you're coming from the inner cities, you coming from these poverty-stricken communities that you see no opportunities. You don't see people go to college in North Philadelphia that often, but Temple College is right down the street.
Right.
So to them, it's an impossible dream because mom didn't go to Temple, dad didn't go to Temple, grandma didn't go to Temple. It's right down the street. So it's an impossible dream that's so basic that a lot of them give up on, and all they see is the negativity. So when you spin it and you can show them something like, no, yeah, you grew up 2 doors down from me, but you can do this as well.
Right.
Don't take them to the park and show them to do something wrong. Bring them to the studio, show them how to create something.
Right.
Teach them how to generate ad revenue at a young age. I know I have a 14-year-old kid. He's actually an intern at our studio.
Nice. He
makes over $2,000 a month in ad revenue. It is amazing with what he does for our company.
Wow.
Just because he has that opportunity and a place to go to be creative.
Right.
He has nowhere else.
Not to mention that his dad is doing it all and making it look good. So I mean.
Yeah. So but when you have these places that they can go to and be creative, it gives them an outlook. It gives them something else to look forward to. That's kind of what BMA is striving to be. Our goal is to make each facility, each studio, a full-on academy within the next 3 to 4 years. Nice. To where we can give kids scholarships and let them leave with certificates in whichever field that they specialize in. We used to call it shop class in school. They don't do shop in public school anymore. They don't teach home economics. They don't teach carpentry, any of that stuff.
They take it all away.
They take it all away. So these kids, they not only do they feel as though they don't have any opportunities, after they're done putting all their work in, they don't have a trade. They don't have a craft. So if you're one of the kids that doesn't play basketball or can't shoot well or doesn't rap well, or you know what I mean, you're left out in that box, and it makes them, and that's what drives them to this opioid addiction that's out there, because they feel as though it's nothing for them to do. They have no ambition. Their ambition has been killed because they feel as though if they're not playing basketball, if they're not rapping, it's no other outcome for them. They don't think, hey, I can be a lawyer, I can be a doctor, I can be anything. They don't even think, hey, I can be a mailman,
You know what? It's funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I can talk to him all day.
No, I dig it. Okay, so I just got put on to Twitch. So Twitch is supposed to be this big thing now because all the kids are playing video games because they're home. and they're making all this money off of video games. So they're not in the streets nearly as much. You know, parents are like breaking the bank just getting them these gaming systems just to keep them occupied and not be outside. So now there's like, you have a little bit more control on the kids now, you know, at least some of the kids that's like 10-ish, you know, or like 13 or whatever. So now they see all these, you know, these big, like Ninja. Ninja is like this guy and he makes like $2 million a month.
Mhm.
You're like,
I love
okay,
it.
doing games?
I love it. And what
Yeah.
the thing about that is, just to put that in the context, if it's just that situation,
Yeah.
we have to have more programs that give our kids opportunities just to even embrace the smaller things like that. Because if you don't have an internet, if you
Right.
don't have a gaming system, you can't participate in these programs, which are great programs that teach kids entrepreneurship, how to
Right.
control finances. It's a very
Mhm.
great program to help them, but all the children don't have access to it.
That's true. That's
So
true. Well, most of them have
really,
phones, right? Some of
uh,
them, maybe? No.
some of some of them,
Mm,
you
right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
not all children have phones. You know, even with
Right.
Metro giving out free phones for $25 a month, some parents some parents can't cut it. You know what I mean?
That's
Right
true.
now, we're actually committed to 5 families getting laptops and iPads for the up and coming school year, because
Oh,
a lot
wow.
of the schools are saying they're going to be doing homeschool. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to get committed to at least 15 more families. We just have to, put the funding aside, but
Right.
that's our goal before September 1st, to commit to 15 more families in our area. Just
Awesome.
try to just make sure that the kids that we can help have access to what they need, because they're going through the same problem here. They shut the schools down and told
Mm-hmm.
the kids to get online and learn. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these kids don't have internet service at home. A
Yeah.
lot of these kids didn't have iPads or laptops, so they gave some of them laptops. But the laptop is useless without internet.
That's true. That's very
Comcast was
true.
giving out, and it worked for a while. Comcast gave out free internet for the COVID, pandemic. They had free hotspots. But
Right.
what happens when the new school year starts, and if this becomes the new normal?
Yeah. They're still trying to put you back in school. That's what they're trying to do. Get you all sick.
Hmm.
Have you at home and not making any money and doing all this extra stuff.
But the terrible thing about that, I'm always going to play devil's advocate. The terrible thing about that
Yes.
is they're giving some kids have the option to still stay home and homeschool if you have that
Right.
iPad and that internet. It's
Right.
the kids
True.
that don't have those resources that are going to be in danger.
That's true.
And
Very true.
we know who the kids that don't have those resources are.
Right. That's true. That's true. Wow. That's crazy. But I mean,
That's why
it's the world we
self-sufficiency,
live in
black
right now.
entrepreneurship, self-independence is the key. Is the key. Is how you save everyone around you, you empower everyone around you, the stronger you are.
I think it would be, I think for me, I would kind of say right alongside with what you're saying is to any individual child that has maybe no real positivity, because I mean, come on, the cities, they're overcrowded and different things like that. Mom and dad, they are, not in a really good headspace at the moment or whatever because of the pandemic. But if you were to take a list, take a list of the good things that you do see, take a list of what you may want to do. Take a list of, you know, things you want to see, just the positive things that you really want to bring to your own life, and see how, and write down next to it how you can actually get to closer to getting to that thing. Because then it's more so like, okay, now you're actually creating a map,
You can
at
visualize.
that point. Yeah, so that would just kind of like give you a roadmap. Like, you know what? If I did this, I can get that much closer to that. Okay, well, what's the next step? So, I mean, it's just something that would be like totally like
No,
doable.
that's a great point, and people should definitely listen to you. I wish I was at my house right now. In my room, I have a leather red notebook. It's a checklist notebook of things that I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Every few weeks, every few months, something gets added to the list. Things get taken off the list
Right.
because life always has a goal. Every day,
Yeah.
once you hit another goal, the goal transcends into another goal. So it's
Mm-hmm.
always moving. So you start your list, you start your map, and it should always continue. You make
Yeah.
it to destination A, you map out destination B, and
Mm-hmm.
you start checking those lists off. You start checking them off. Next thing you know, you're accomplished.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it. Yes. Okay. 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 So we're going to go back to the entrepreneur because I just love this part. So being like an entrepreneur, um, do you find are setting them up to do or actually implementing your teaching? Are
Yes.
you even around for that?
Yeah. Like I said, I work with a lot of independent artists and a lot of independent creators. And we also work with some of the same creators and artists. Artists are not obligated, I mean, to work at our studio or for our studio.
Hmm.
A lot of the knowledge and information that we give out is free for advisory. The knowledge is out here to gain. So, and the problem is, we had a whole generation of, I'll just say it, Black entrepreneurs that were lucky enough to be successful, but
Hmm.
they played gatekeepers to the success lane, and they kind of took it upon themselves to deem who was worthy of being entered into this industry, whether it be film, music, entertainment.
Hmm.
So you had a generation of people who may have been able to bring great content, who may have been able to transcend and be the next Russell Simmons, Barry Gordy, any of the great people that have contributed to the culture, but they didn't have that access. Now with the internet, you do have the access. So what I do is I give them the information on how they can monetize and capitalize off of their dream. Again, a dream is just a dream until you manifest it, until you make it physical. If you
True.
want to be a clothing designer,
Hmm.
you start with, just say, your printing t-shirts in your basement,
Right.
but it's bigger than printing t-shirts. You
Hmm.
know, you have to visualize, like you said, that roadmap. You write
Yeah.
step one, I'm going to get me some pressing machines. Step two, I'm going to get me some materials. Step
Yeah.
three, I'm going to get me some designs. Step
Hmm.
four, I'm going to brand my product. It's
Yeah.
bigger than printing t-shirts. Create yourself a
Mhm.
brand, create yourself a name, create yourself a design. Now you have your own t-shirt, your own clothing line. You're not just pressing t-shirts up.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do something, do it all the way, do it professionally, and you'll be successful. People don't want to put the hard work in, though. They'll say, oh, I got the machine,
Mhm.
I got some shirts, I'm just going to press up some shirts and sell them out the closet. Well, you can just invest a little bit more time, a little bit more effort, package those shirts up, quality shirts, of course, they would have to be.
Mhm. And do
Package
some
them up,
marketing. Do that.
market them, get you a contract with a few independent boutiques, and now
There you
you're
go.
a registered clothes designer that's in stores selling, and your company is as big as you make it.
There you go. There
But
you go.
people don't want to do the small steps. They're just happy
Mhm.
printing t-shirts in the basement. There's nothing wrong with printing t-shirts in the basement. For anyone
No.
that's listening that's printing t-shirts in the basement, I
Mhm.
print t-shirts in the basement, but
Right.
I don't aspire to be a fashion designer.
Right.
Whatever you want to do, just do it to the fullest, do it to the best of your ability, and try to do it at a professional level. That's my message to them. So what we do with our kids is, a lot of our kids, of course, we're dealing with music, so a lot of them are producers, engineers, musicians, actors, things of that nature. As
Mhm.
far as the musicians, we show them how to independently market, publish, produce, register, and get paid for their music. I have a 15-year-old kid. He lives about 2 blocks away from us. We met him about 4 months ago. He's a great kid, had all the music in the world. I mean, this kid had a whole library in his phone full of his own music. You know, sitting there, talk to his mom, and he wanted to work with us. You know, but I know the situation that his parents are in. Hey,
Mm,
I could easily, you know, work with your kid and do things for him and promote him and publish him through our company.
right.
But you, as his parents, can do the same thing.
True. True.
Incorporate it, publish his music, put it out there, and he's his own business. By the
And
time he's 21, who knows where he can take his music? But he'll
it's
be getting paid.
true.
He'll be a paid musician if
Right.
that's what he really wants to do in life.
Exactly. You know what? I think the conversation you and I had prior to this was more so with the adults. You know how the parents didn't really see, you know, or weren't able to see what, you know, basically what you know, the gifts that you had and different things like that. So, you know, you could have it in your mind and that it be, but it's your vision, it's your passion. You know, of course, not everybody's going to see that, but the fact of the matter is that it's still yours. You can do whatever you need to do it. So yeah, maybe they don't see it, you know, maybe they won't, you know, like nourish it or anything like that. They may not support it, you know, but at the same time, that's what you really want to do. Look at my brother here. He got it. He, you know, it took a whole bunch of bumps and bruises, but at the same time, he
Definitely,
made it happen.
definitely.
I love it.
No,
That's
look,
awesome.
and
See?
look at you, what you're doing. You don't know how many creators that I come across that are trying to do exactly what you do, but they don't have the fortitude, they don't have the patience, and
Mm,
they won't put the work in. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's
You're
time.
very, very diligent with your work,
I appreciate
very
it.
diligent, and I'm just happy that you reached out to me, and I hope that you reach out to me again because, as you can see, I love to talk. We can talk all day, any day. So,
Don't talk about it, sir. Why do you think I got all these shows?
look,
That's
hey,
all
look.
I'm doing is talking.
Next Thursday at 5, I plan on speaking to you again.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, bro.
I make sure I clean up this time. You know.
You are so awesome. I love this. Like I love the positivity. I love the lessons and just the message that you have. Your vision is so big. It's just like wow, because like first off, you don't hear too many people with the passion anymore. You know, they're just like, oh, well, I just got to do, or oh, I'm so tired, or oh. And then it's just like, but this is stuff that you really wanted to do, right? You know, and to have you on here, I mean, like, I feel everything and I see everything, just like, you know, your your aura and you know your chakras are aligned, you're good to go, sir. Your energy is
thank,
positive. I
thank you.
love every moment of it, certainly. So I only hope that um I can get this in front of as many kids as possible so that they can hear this, because this is so important, you know, the things that you're saying, you know, and my I guess my next question was more so, you know, how are they able to even hear what you have to say? Like, do you have, you know, a platform to whereas they can kind of log in, or, you know, maybe just kind of a CD, throw it to them? I don't know.
Well, you can find any BMA music on Spotify. You can either follow BMA artists on Spotify, or you can follow myself, Nujak Tha Hustla, on Spotify for the music. You can follow our website, BMA Incorporated, www. Of course. That has all of our content, all of our up and coming events, anything that we sponsor as far as book bag drive giveaways, food giveaways, things like that. And of course, Instagram, Twitter. Personally, for me, everything is Nujak Tha Hustla all the way across any social platform, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, BMA.entertainment, all the way across. You can find all of our content there. A lot of the film and studio academy stuff that we have going on, it's still being finalized because we only have one studio that actually has a training facility area for it. So that's our Delaware facility. So we have information on that on our website as well. But I'm definitely going to be putting out more information, and hopefully you're going to be having me back, so they'll be getting this information on a regular basis.
Of course. Okay. Yeah. Look, you're going to be my brother. Okay.
Definitely.
I love it.
Look, we are bonded from here on out.
Yes.
5 years from now,
I feel you.
We're going to have us an all-white party years from now. We're going to talk about our first interview.
I can't wait. I need my white suit. If you saw my vision board, you would see my white suit is sitting up there, and I'm like, I'm getting my white suit.
That's how, you got to visualize, okay, when I make it, that's the suit I'm wearing.
Yep.
Accept my award in this suit.
Yes.
You got to set that kind of things up. But
you
definitely,
do.
We do. And we're going to talk offline about some great things as well.
Certainly. Awesome, sir. I appreciate you. I really do.
No problem.
Like, in all honesty, I guess, we kind of touched base on pretty much everything else that I was going to ask. And I think this was just such a very important conversation that needed to be had,
Definitely.
Things that needed to be said, sir.
And it's a conversation that can always be continued and expanded on with others that have ideas. It's a community thing, we have to build like-minded people, and we build a network, we build a community, and that's how you start changing the narrative in our community. It starts with the voice, but we have to make the voice a popular voice, a voice that people want to hear. They're hearing the negative, that's what they want to hear. They want to hear the negative because they never hear the positive. Enough people start speaking the positive, it drowns out the negative.
Things change,
Mm-hmm. And people are waiting for that change. People are tired of negativity. They really are. And it's just a slow turnabout. And then you have the system that's going to keep trying to push us in that negative direction.
That's true. It don't help that, the reality shows are like the biggest,
it's the most addictive poison out there. It's like,
like you don't get drugs, you get reality.
You shouldn't watch this. It's nothing but propaganda, but it's so entertaining. It's like, please hit her in the face. You're like, yes, we should all be mature and come together, but slap her. Like,
it's funny. It is though. It's crazy, and I'm like, that's not usually me, but I'm kind of hooked on this one show, and I'm like, oh dang it, why did they do this to me? But it is what it is. I pray about it after I get to.
See, I had to balance my poison. What I started doing, I said, I'm addicted to reality. So what I started doing, I started searching for reality shows with substance. They actually have a few of those that actually have. They still have a little bit of drama. We need drama.
Just a little bit.
But they have some out there with substance that actually teach, entrepreneurship, finance, literacy. They're not just all surrounded around messiness,
Yeah.
But so I've and we're not going to endorse any of their shows on your show, but
no, we will not. Okay, we're gonna wrap this thing up then, because I need to hear who you got.
All right, guys. So tune in. Lady Myya is the best. She's the voice of the town. We'll see you guys.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here with us, sir. Thank you guys so much for joining me, Lady Myya. I appreciate the love and the positions that you guys are putting me in to be able to talk to individuals such as Nujak. He is like, he's definitely a brother from another mother, certainly. And so we will see you guys later.